Tommy, thank you for joining me again. So another week, another long journey. How was Southport and how have you recovered?
Still recovering, still recovering, but it was a productive journey. I thought. I mean, we went there having an idea how they would set up, and they actually showed us the biggest respect they can do by changing their formation to match us. But their style of play wasn't much different than how we thought it was. And I think the message before the game was really we needed to get off the bus and start better than we had at Scarborough. The lads heeded that, to be fair to them, and we were in the game at 0-0. Half time. There wasn't a great amount of football played in the first half, to be honest with you, by either side. I'm sure Liam wouldn't mind me saying that. But they got their noses in front, albeit with a strange goal again, to be honest with you. I mean, the offside rule is so not black and white anymore. I understand there are always going to be ambiguities and views for the team that score it and views for the team that concede. But ultimately, their lad had a shot and continued to run off the pitch. The rebound was then poked towards him. He ran back on the pitch, got the ball and scored. So he's offside by default in terms that he's off the pitch when the ball's aimed towards him. But it never happened, and we got a yellow card. Not me, but we got a yellow card as a group, or we got 2 yellow cards for that because for asking the question. I mean, Paul Jones, if anybody knows Paul, he's not exactly a chatterbox, and when he raises his hand and has a query of the officials, you tend to sit up and listen. To be honest with you, and he was spot on. He was right at the time. I've looked back at the video, and he's absolutely spot on. So it's another goal-in decision that's gone against us. But again, you know, we didn't hang around. We made a couple of alterations, but we dominated the game from their goal onwards. And I think I've seen Liam's interview. He's quite right. He said we were more than worthy of the point, and that we could have actually gone on and won the game. So they're another team that are very, very difficult to dethrone at their place. Nobody's done a lot of that this season, so it's a really good point on the road.
Is the day journey there and spending 4 hours or so on a coach detrimental to the players when they start the game?
Well, I mean, that's my choice, to be honest with you. I mean, the chairman's told me, you know, if we needed to go the day before, we could go. But then you've got the conundrum of you sitting around in the hotel all day. So it's not, you know, I'm fully backed by the chairman in terms of my decisions for preparation. I think if I made it a poll to the players, which I don't, they would, the vast majority would rather travel on the day. We do stop and have a little bite to eat together, have a meeting, and, you know, prep as we would do normally. So I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I mean, people have to do that when they come to us. The difference is we're doing it a lot more than the other teams. So just by it's actually not because of the FA Cup situation, but a lot of our Tuesday night games, for some reason, are a long, long way away. I mean, we still have to go to Farsley yet. I know the Spennymoor game will have to be rearranged, and that's going to be a Tuesday night. So all we're doing here is getting practice for the future. So we've got to get used to losing Wednesdays, basically. That's what we do.
And you mentioned the Cup hasn't impacted on that. Obviously, we've got the little matter of the FA Trophy in between and Hemel Hempstead.
Yeah, it's going to be a different kind of opposition. I think they're a very good side. I know Mark of old from his time in Oxford City, and he plays football. His teams play football, and they play on a plastic pitch at Vauxhall Road. So I know that'll be a really good football match. It'll be 2 teams that want to get the ball down and play, and they've just taken Ebbsfleet, one of the few teams that have taken points off Ebbsfleet this season in the National South. So they're not to be underestimated at all. I'm very well aware of people behind the scenes there, having been in charge albeit for a small period of time at Hemel Hempstead back in 2012, I think it was. And Dave and Dean behind the scenes there are really good football people with the club at their heart. So it'd be nice to see people that I do know and I've worked with before. But on the day, it's about getting through to the hat in the next round. That's all we want to do.
And the fitness of the squad after Tuesday night and looking ahead, is there a balancing act? I mean, you know, we've had issues with Ponch and with Theo. Where are they going into this Saturday, first of all?
Well, first and foremost, we had to take Tyler Denton off on Tuesday night, but it's very, very late on, and I think it was more as a precaution from his point of view. He had a slight feeling in some part of his leg that he just felt he should come off, and Ty, bless him, had to get stripped very, very quickly and saw the last couple of minutes out for us, which he did very well at. Again, just mentioning the substitutes, all 3 subs that went on Tuesday night deserve a pat on the back because they had to wait their turn and they come on and impacted the game. That's Christian, Josh and Ty. So I think the fact that where I'm leading here is whatever team I pick on Saturday, I genuinely believe they'll be able to win the game, because I don't see my replacements at this moment in time weakening the side. So from that point of view, whoever's fit and available, the 11 that are picked and then the subs that are there to replace, in my opinion, will be good enough to progress in the trophy. Will there be one or two changes? Possibly. Like you said, I mean, it's hard. I mean, people who travel will understand. I mean, the away fans will understand the amount that it takes out of you, even though you're not always doing the driving. And it's no different for us lot. You know, I feel fatigued a lot on the Thursday rather than the Wednesday. Wednesday, you're still sort of buzzing. You've had about 3 hours sleep. Then you're back into your routine or whatever you do on a Wednesday. But Thursday sort of catches up on you. So we've given the lads a bit of a rest again. But we'll be back at it in the morning, where we'll have a head count. Obviously, Theo and Jordan Ponticelli are more of a doubt than anybody else. But both are progressing. Obviously, both of them two will have eyes on the weekend after, because we've got a full week between the two games. So, look, at the end of the day, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity, and I always believe that if they're in the squad, and I don't pick them when the opportunity comes, then they shouldn't be in the squad. So, yeah, you might see one or two new faces on the starting 11 on Saturday, but then you might not. It depends how we present ourselves in terms of fitness and freshness, actually, tomorrow morning at training.